Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's doing pretty good today. I hope everyone had a good night last night. Um Definitely a good day, man. It was a nice build up yesterday in the draft, a lot going on. And the Eagles got the guy they wanted in Jihaad Campbell and a linebacker in the first round. Who would have thought? Howie Roseman is changing his ways, changing his philosophy. You signed a running back to big money and then extended him to $20 million a year. You're giving Zach Bond a nice extension, so things are changing in Philadelphia. But we're kind of here to talk about the first day of the draft, how the night kind of went, and kind of talk about day two a little bit when it comes to some of the value that's still up on the board right now. But Jihaad Campbell, a versatile player for the Eagles. And from what Howie Roseman kind of said the other day, it seemed like they have a lot of interest in, it seems like they want to make him more of a pass rusher, which I think he'll be more of a, inside outside linebacker, depending how they want to do this. But he'll most likely be playing linebacker, but just almost a Swiss Army knife, that can move around the field, can run sideline to sideline. Pass coverage is fantastic. His pass rush is just insane, especially on the edge. So I think there's just a lot of upside there, just a really good talent. Especially you have a guy right now that's, realistically, this is a top 20 talent. Daniel Jeremiah had him at 12. I understand he's got the torn labrum. So there were some factors into a pick like this that kind of came down, but we'll see. If you guys hear any noise in the house, it's because my landlords are working on some stuff upstairs, so in the other part of the house. So if you hear any noises, that's what that is pretty much. But I want to know from you guys how you guys feel, man. I'm not going to stream for too long today because we got a long day today to the second and third rounds of this draft. So I want to know how you guys feel. Want to say hi to everybody in the chat. House Cat, John Jones, what's going on? Internet Junkie, what's going on? KGK0911, what's going on, man? Feeling really good, dude. Feeling really good. About what's to come of this draft. KDK says, I'll trade some serious capital to get Johnson and Nick Amenwari. Yeah, look, we have to put, I think there's only one tight end that they really could get that's going to make any type of promise. And I think that's Mason Taylor from LSU. Other than that, I think every other tight end is a drop off. I think it's just hit or miss at this point. Nick Amenwari, Xavier Watts, Kevin Winston Jr. I wonder when a team will take a chance on him coming off an ACL. You know what I mean? I know Kevin Winston Jr. I know the Eagles brought him in literally a few days before the first night of the draft. They brought in Jalen Reed from Penn State. Andrew Makuba is another one that we like. I wouldn't mind them drafting him. So we'll see, man. Amenwari would be good. I think there's a lot of value. So you're at pick 64. So you have to trade up. You only gave up a 5th round pick last night. I don't even think I don't know if they were worried about KC picking Jihaad Campbell. So I'm not sure if, they didn't really they probably could have just sat there at that point if that's the direction they were going to go. You know what I mean? Aaron says, yeah, they drafted linebacker in the first round because they view him as an edge. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that because the versatility is just there, man. This is a guy that was an edge rusher and then kind of transformed into an off-ball linebacker. So you have a guy with size, you have a guy, you could put on the line as well. There's so much they could do with him. Chris says, insane pick. I'm trading up for Will Johnson or Amenwari. Yeah, probably. I don't know how they feel about the cornerback position right now. I don't know. I know that Keely Ringo just changed his number to number 7. I think he changed his number to number 7. A few players did. I know Ben Van Simmern changed his number to 43. I forgot who else changed numbers. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of Eagle fans that were kind of pissed that they didn't pick Will Johnson. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they think of this cornerback group right now with you know, with Keely Ringo, obviously, and getting that Giants vet in here, Adoree Jackson, to see if there's actual competition at that position. So we'll see. Gage says there's plenty of cornerbacks on the board, but I feel like there's a big drop in safety after Amenwari, Winston, and Watts. Yeah, probably. I mean, if they like a guy like Jalen Reed from Penn State, they can always grab him. So I mean, I think Andrew Makuba is a guy you have to watch out for too, because he's got a lot of pushback attitude. He's very rangy, and another kind of versatile guy. Malachi Moore's another one that they could draft as well. They could play inside corner, outside corner, so they can move him around a little bit. That inside corner spot is a little empty behind DeJean because none of besides Adoree Jackson that did it early in his career, they haven't really found a guy that could play inside as well. So we'll see how it goes. Chris Scott says Will Johnson is the second best cornerback in this draft. He has elite coverage ability. Yeah, I want to see if they have. I want to see if they have a lot of interest in him. Jacob Parrish is another guy that they like too. Um, you know, so we'll see. Trey Amos, you can't take him off the board either because I think the Eagles have a lot of interest in him. So I'm kind of looking at their board right now, or looking at some of the guys they brought in, and obviously Jihaad Campbell. They didn't even bring him in on a visit. They talked to him. They talked to Campbell one time. One time. Okay. Here's a crazy stat from the other day, okay, from Jihaad Campbell and his athletic ability from his raw score that was like 9.6, 9.8, sorry, 9.4 something, 9.5 something out of 10 points, okay, from 1987, okay, to 2025. He's ranked 41 out of over 3,200 linebackers. We're talking just athletic ability. It's kind of crazy. Kind of nuts, man. I ain't going to lie. Eagles of Land says, reportedly Will Johnson has multiple medical red flags. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're probably going to find guys that why did some of these guys drop? I mean, I was shocked. I mean, I'm not really shocked, but I thought the board fell the way we needed it to, and the Eagles would have gave up more picks. I think Atlanta fucked a lot of things up. I thought it was James Pierce Jr. or Malachi Starks when they got to 22-23. When they tried to make a trade with the Chargers that didn't apparently happen, and then with Green Bay, they really tried talking to several other teams after that 22nd pick. And then Atlanta comes right in and grabs James Pierce Jr., and then, of course, Baltimore takes Malachi Starks. So Atlanta gave up a future first-round pick. Like, there's no generational talent. There's a lot of ceiling talent, but there's no generational talent in this draft to move up like that, give up a future first-rounder. Some teams are just really stupid, and obviously Atlanta is just really dumb. So, Yeah, I heard good things about TJ Sanders as well. I'm wondering if they draft a running back too. Especially really one in I thought it was Jay Blue from Texas, and another kind of a jack of all trades type running back, dual threat. What's going on? Chris says I'm late. Anything happened? No. We're literally just talking about yesterday, and we're kind of going into the second day today. So I will be streaming with Philly at I think 6:30, something like that. So. Okay, he said, I feel like the D-line is set until day 3 because of Jihaad versatility. Focus on safety, tight end, cornerback, and O-line. Saying goodbye to Huff and Dallas because they are about to get traded. We need like 4 picks today. Yeah, I mean, they still have 3 fifth-round picks. Tight end is still worrying me a little bit because we don't know what's going on with Dallas Goedert at this point. Is he most likely a post-draft trade, or is he going to be trade bait in this draft coming up? So they can't sit at 64 in the second round. They can't sit there because there's nobody's going to be there. Nobody's going to be there at 64. Unless somebody ends up going. I don't know, but we'll see. Logan says, can't wait. Dude, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped. Atlanta did the same thing with Michael Penix and Bijan Robinson. They always change the board drastically. Kavai Jones says, I would love to go tight end and second round, and Shamir Turner third round. He could play inside, outside. Would be interesting. A built-in replacement, just a bit more undersized as DT get, but can play it. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. There's the defensive tackle from Toledo that they like. I think he's more of a third, fourth round guy, something like that. If they even have any more interest in DTs, I mean, they're probably going to get one guy somewhere. We'll see. Green Wave says no one is talking about the corner from Kansas. Who, Josh Parrish? Nah, nobody. Eagles brought him in on a visit too. A lot of people like him. But I'm just wondering how do they feel about, I think they really want Keely Ringo to get the starting job. I really do. Adoree Jackson is just just some safe placement. A guy that's got a little bit of versatility inside, outside, and if you need him, he could play, So we'll see how that goes. Air That Juggy says, I want Mason Taylor the second. Honestly, I think we move up regardless. Yeah, I mean, if they move up and get Mason Taylor, then great. Like, I think he's the last tight end. Like, any other tight end besides Mason Taylor at this point is a huge drop-off. And there was Eagle fans yesterday saying to get Mason Taylor in the first. I mean, that's too much of a reach. With the talent that you have in this draft, I think that was going to be too much of a reach. I don't think that was going to happen at all. You know what I mean? So we'll see. And realistically, I'm not even being picky today because I know they'll get a guy that we really need. But they really need to start looking for a big need, between safety and someone's going to have to drop, and the Eagles are going to have to pounce on that and, pause. And they're going to have to do a massive trade up in the second round. I mean, you got 3 fifth-round picks. You have picks for next year as well. I mean, you have some, you have some compensation there. Philly Big Dog says, we are in trouble if we want to draft Marquise Side or Nick Emmanuel, being picked by the Eagles. They would have to trade up to get them. Yeah, no, they have to trade early, bro. They got to trade early. They can't wait close to 64. Moving up 5 spots isn't going to do much. Apparently, I'm hearing the Jets today have a lot of interest in Mason Taylor. So if they really want that tight end, they're going to trade immediately. They're going to trade within I say 5 or 6 picks. They're going to have to trade the star of the second day if they want him. That's what it comes down to. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a fun day today. It's a lot of value. There's a lot of value, but I want to get a starter, man. I want to get a starter. That's what I really want. Especially in the second round here. Let's see here. EC1 feels good. Feels like a good time to remind everyone that the Eagles were in attendance for Michigan cornerback Will Johnson's workout on April 14th. Anthony DeBono said this interesting statement. Yeah, that'd be good. Look, if they went cornerback, if they feel they need cornerback, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? I have no issue with it at all. Because I honestly don't know what they feel about that second corner spot. I honestly don't. I don't know how they feel about Keely Ringo. I don't really know how they feel about what that starting job is going to look like and the competition that really comes with it, James goes to Emin Wari is a stud that would be so sick for us. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Emin Wari would be a project, but I think he has a lot of ceiling. I think Starks was the one that had a lot more floor that could start for a team that was more ready right now to start for a team. And obviously in Baltimore, he's going to play really well, So next to Kyle Hamilton, he's going to be pretty sick. I ain't going to lie. What's going on, Liz? Says Kevin Winston Jr. is more plug and play ready than Amori at safety. Yeah, look, Kevin Winston Jr., the only thing that's just bothering me is the injury. You know what I mean? I wonder if like is someone really going to take him on in the second round, or is he going to be is he going to make it to the third round? I don't know. I mean, the Eagles brought him in, so they know his background. They know how I mean, you have a legit starter. I mean, you have a legit guy that can start like right now. If his health is good, I mean, Kevin Winston Jr. I'd pick Kevin Winston Jr. over Amenwari, but it's just taking a guy coming off of an ACL is just kind of it's a little worrisome a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Lord Vons, we have like the last pick on the second round. Howie showed last night he's not aggressive this year. Well, that's not true because I don't think a lot of teams well, dude, you weren't giving up a future first round pick. Okay, so that's not being aggressive, that's just being stupid, and that's just being that's just dangerous playing field. You know what I mean? I don't think that's true at all. Because you're not going into this draft and sure, he's going to trade up, but he literally couldn't trade up because they were just asking, you know what I mean? The Chargers trade at 22, 23 never went through, and he tried trading with other teams. And look, Atlanta comes up. You want the Eagles to move up for a guy and give up a future first round pick? That's what would have happened last night in the early 20s. That's what would have probably happened. And the Eagles weren't interested in doing that. So it wasn't going to happen. Oh, Kobe Bryant, corner from Kansas. Yeah, they brought him on a visit as well. Yeah, they brought him on a visit too. I mean, realistically, like I'm taking safety, tight end over corner. And if they picked corner, I wouldn't even care. But that's what I would do. That's where I would be. Sorry, my chat thing's not working today. Yo, Mayor, what's going on, man? So what up, Joey? I lost my voice last night. Eagles got my guy. I'm shocked he fell, same as Johnny went to the Broncos. Yeah, dude, like, look, I didn't think a linebacker was really in the mix for the Eagles this year. I mean, I thought in the mid-rounds maybe or somebody else, but man, like, if this was a guy that they've had on their board, a top 10 on their board, okay, Daniel Jeremiah had him going to the Eagles at 32 and had him as the 12th best player in this draft, okay? You're talking torn labrum after the combine. Shoulder looks fine to me. Ready for training camp. Has already been reported. I know there's been talks about like one of his knees. I don't know. He's got like an issue with one of his knees or something like that. So obviously they've done a lot of homework in this kid. And if they feel like he's healthy and he's ready to go, then, we'll see. So we'll see. Easy Gods to the Birds trade up to get Nick Amenwari? Potentially. Because look, I mean, I think that's a glaring hole right now. That's a glaring hole. I think that's a glaring hole. And that's just me. I mean, look, Sidney Brown, I'm proud of him. Like, I get it. Like, I think he's going to be a good player, and I think he'll be good. I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but, like, you're not just giving the fucking job to him. You're not giving no fucking job to him. It ain't happening, bro. Ain't happening. Linda says teams are more aware of taking that call from the Eagles now. Yeah, dude. And I don't think a lot of teams want to trade with Howie, to be honest with you. And honestly, to me, as like a fan, like that's just so fucking petty. I think that's really petty. You know what I mean? Like, you have a guy trying to do his job, and it's like you won't even like take a call. Like, you know what I mean? I don't get that. But the Eagles still got their guy at the end of the day. So you see all these defensive linemen coming off the board. You see the offensive linemen coming off the board. You see all these, defensive line, offensive line, you name it. I mean, it's like all these teams trying to copy Howie Roseman, But these guys are trading up. They're giving away future first round picks for ceiling type edge rushers. Like, what is that? You know? What is that? See here. Nicholas DeLuzio says, Joey, do you like Arizona State running back Cam Scatabo and Arkansas edge rusher Landon? Yeah, Landon Jackson's not a bad one. And is Landon Jackson the one that had the neck injury? Is that why he moved down in this draft? I mean, running backs, I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, I could probably say they're gonna target one late, probably not until tomorrow, to be honest with you. You know? Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this chat because, by the way, Sunday I'm building my new PC. Like this whole room is changing within to June and July. A lot of shit is changing, so this whole entire computer is getting scrapped out, and I got a new computer other way. So, well, I already got all the parts here. I'm just having someone's building it for me tomorrow. So this chat thing doesn't work. I think my computer just can't handle it, so it's being weird. So I have to get rid of it, unfortunately. So we'll just stick to this for now. Nathan says, who do you think the Cowboys next? I don't even know, dude. I mean, look, they needed a guard. They thought it was Tyler Warren, but it wasn't him, unfortunately. Someone said KC fleeced us. No, a 5th round. The Eagles got 3 more 5th round picks. We didn't get fleeced by anybody. Nobody got fleeced. Who got fleeced? Nobody did. Jack Sawyer tonight. Look, you still got. I mean, look, Nick. Look, Donovan Izuruku still on the board. That Olawafemi Odelejo from UCLA still there. Nick Scorton they brought in twice. You know, edge rusher wise, there's plenty of them there, and that Olafemi guy, they really like him a lot. So. Did I have to get a GPU? I had to get everything. I rebuilt. I literally bought. I got a 4090. I got an RTX 4090. I got a whole bunch. I got a new case, new fans, new everything. Literally everything. So I just spent like a lot on this new computer that's going to get built tomorrow. So, Sunday, realistically. So Cowboys take Sanders tonight, potentially. Who's your go-to safety for tonight? I would say safety or tight end, to be honest. KG says Eagles get top 10 talent in exchange for pick 31 in the 5th rounder. There is no fleecing. We got insane value. No, there's plenty of value still left. But sitting at 64, they're gonna have to just like they did with Cooper DeJean. They're gonna have to make like a big value trade up. They're gonna have to. You know. Oh, I'm still rocking 36. Oh, that's awesome, bro. Nothing wrong with that. Internet says, don't forget, Campbell is from Jersey. Pretty sure he grew up a Birds fan. Dang said, it's not a desperate thing. Adoree and Ringo can compete. No, I don't. For me, it doesn't seem like as of right now, they're desperate for a cornerback. I could be wrong, but I think they really want Keely Ringo to win the job. I think they're putting him in that competition with Adoree Jackson. Like, I still think they need to add a corner. They need more depth. Okay, especially at inside corner. Behind Cooper DeJean, there's nobody else that can play the inside. Okay, if you want to go get a Malachi Moore or something like that, they could do that. You know, plenty other guys that are around. But this has got to be, the first pick of this 2nd round, they have got to get a plug-in player that could start like day one. There's nothing to worry about at corner. Just watch. K-Gun says, plus you can't use the word fleece with a midday pick. No, I don't. There's like, this is the moment where Howie Roseman's going to move up and down this draft board. I mean, now it's all game now. First round is a lot more different, but Adoree replacing even an old Slay is depressing. Not really, to be honest. Adoree Jackson is a nice piece for our defense, man. You put a veteran in there, which is great. You got a veteran in the building now. So Patrick says, I'm hoping we make 2 picks in the second round. Plenty of talent this round. Yeah, I mean they have the draft capital to do it if that's what they want to do. Let's see. K Gun says, if I had to guess, I'd say Kevin Winston Jr. is the second and cornerback to compete with Ringo in the third, potentially. I mean, look, like if they drafted Kevin Winston Jr., I don't think I'll be upset over it, but you know, they just got to be careful. That's all. I don't want this guy going to training camp and he gets hurt and he's got all these issues. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I heard his pro day was pretty good. His pro day was actually really good. Can Fangio get Sidney Brown on the right track? Yeah, he needs to, look. Sidney Brown just needs reps. I should say you staying live until draft? No, probably not. I'm gonna need like a break before the draft, and then I'll probably head back out. Casey, I think Will Johnson drops like 10, 15 more spots because of injury concerns. If he's there, we trading up and taking a chance. Hey, look, if they do it, then fine. You know what I mean? No issue. Mr. Carter says, let Eli Ricks play. Yeah, he'll get opportunity, but I don't think Ricks can't play on the inside. I don't think Ricks will have a shot. I don't think Ricks is going to have a shot on the outside, unfortunately. I mean, he'll be in the competition, but I don't think he's going to win it, though. Mayor says, Joey, what was the Falcons doing? They legit took 2 edge rushers, and it's time to pay him. They're going to be in cap hell. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I mean, Jalen Walker, and then you trade up for James Pierce Jr. That's just so fucking weird, man. Because after they took James Pierce Jr., I was like, shit, like, why are the Eagles trading at 20? They're starting to trade at 22, which we found out afterwards it was at 22 with the Chargers. Trade didn't go through. And then we saw reports that they were trading with the Green Bay Packers. Okay, well, it was 22 or 23, whatever it was. Okay. I thought it was for James Pierce Jr. and Malachi Starks. That's what I thought it was. I 100% thought it was for one of those 2 guys. But it wasn't. They've wanted Jihaad Campbell for a while. So, you know. Dank says, well, Lord Vaughn, if you're complaining about corner, if there's a draft, I guarantee it's at least 1 corner left in the draft that would beat Ringo out for cornerback too. Dank says we're talking draft. Doesn't matter who you want. If we draft him, that's less experience than Ringo, regardless. Yeah, it is. But you know, are you going to get a better talent that has some red medical flags, or if you get a guy that has medical red flags, that's just a better talent over Ringo? I think they'll pull the trigger on that. It doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Ringo has more experience, sure, but he hasn't played that much. You know? What's going on, Nina? Says, hey, Joey, received my main thing t-shirt and love it. Thank you to you and 5. Hey, I appreciate we appreciate so much, and I'm glad you got it, and it looks good. I'm glad you got it. We've been working hard on those shirts, and we have more stuff coming out. More stuff is in the works right now, so we're getting ready for another release really soon. Appreciate so much, Nina, for jumping in. We got 283 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the stream, and make sure you hit the live chat for memberships. If you guys haven't picked them up, we'll be doing some more membership videos. So definitely join up if you guys have it. Appreciate it so much. Nathan says, who takes Green? New York? Dude, I don't know who's going to take Mike Green. And I honestly, there was reports coming out that I think Jeff McClain put out reports that he's under the impression that the Eagles have no interest in him at all because of the sexual harassment allegations, 2 of them. Now, I don't know. I understand, like, SA is, you know, there's different kinds of it. Like, how bad was it? I don't know. It's still bad regardless. So, This isn't a guy fighting with a police officer or getting a traffic ticket or got into a fight with somebody. This is this is serious shit. So I don't know if I don't think Mike Green. I mean, yeah, Mike Green would have been one of the top edge rushers, especially like he would have been. He probably would have been a first round pick in this draft. But yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I really don't have interest in it, to be honest. If they drafted him, and whatever team drafts him, they're gonna get a lot of shit for drafting him. Like if Philly drafted him, there would be a lot of issues. Like fans would not be happy with it. So let's say we'll see. Deshae says, "I'm objective that the Giants' defense is going to be going to a headache." Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Seth says, "Would love Amos, my top choice on the board. I read Johnson knee issue might be chronic. If so, he becomes day 3. Lots of good IDL players. Yeah, look, if they want to go for an Amos, and he's going to go early. They're going to have to really trade up for him. He's going to go really early. A lot of these guys are going to go early." Laura, how do you know he's better? Yeah, the Keely Ringo thing. A lot of Eagle fans are just like, you can't knock him down because he hasn't had like a full off season. At least he hasn't gotten the reps. You know what I mean? He hasn't had consistent reps. You know what I mean? Sidney Brown comes in at safety for a game, misses a couple tackles, and everybody thinks he's trash, and he's not trash, but the guy hasn't had reps. Astro said, "I want Xavier, and it's not just my last name is Watts." I haven't actually watched him, so I don't really know. I know he's he's definitely an early second round talent at safety. K Gun says, "That's why I was being realistic with Winston Jr. He should be in reach for us to take, unlike Ammon Warrior or Amos." Oh, okay. I mean, look, if that's the direction they want to go, then I have no issue with it. It wouldn't shock me if Kevin Winston Jr. gets signed or gets drafted and they sign Justin Simmons. It wouldn't shock me to bring in both of those guys. Like, I already feel like Justin Simmons is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle after this draft. It's going to happen. I feel like there's going to be a bridge safety. I feel like a bridge safety is going to get signed. That's where I'm kind of at with everything. Easy ones. Dickerson had an ACL tear in each knee and ankle injury in each ankle. That's not great. It seems to indicate he would continue being injured, but it's important to note that ACL injuries. Yeah, the Land Dickerson pick was like a good pick, and then finding out he came off of an ACL, and you know what I mean? Like, some guys just come off injuries and they never have them for a long time. Like some guys are just like that. So Lord says he's been in has enough time period. He's been like 3 years in development. Get him out of here. He's not ready. No, I don't think that's the case, bro. I think it's because they've had Slay in the building. They went after Quinyon Mitchell. They went after Cooper DeJean, and he's just had guys in front of him till he gets his opportunity. I think the Eagles want him to win the job. So he's just had competition in front of him. He's had starters pretty much in front of him, you know? Yeah, I saw that, Ricky. Jahan Dotson's wearing number 2 now, taking Slay's number now. Dane says a lot of dudes out there, a lot of dudes. As long as Howie's on the move, we will be happy. We'll be fine. K Gun says that would make sense because Winston is also a special teams guy, and you know how the Eagles love special teams players, and bringing in Simmons gives Winston more time to heal and learn from him. Yeah, I think that would be the right move, man. And I'm not a fan of Justin Simmons coming here. 31-year-old fucking safety coming here. I mean, as long as they don't realistically, like, if he's here just to groom somebody and start for a while, I guess it is what it is. Like, I'm just, obviously I was going to this draft hoping the Eagles did get a safety that would start day 1. if the plan is to sign Justin Simmons and sign another, I think they need two safeties regardless because, you know, I'm trying not to forget his name, but between Sidney Brown and McCollum being back there, and McCollum's not great. McCollum started over Sidney Brown just because he's just a better tackler and just played better and had more reps, and he was there a lot longer because Sidney Brown missed some time as well. You know, Marcus says, "Remember how he drafted all these people? AJ Brown said Ringo is going to be a problem." Yeah, I remember he said that. I remember he said that last year. And I know that Christian Parks, Parker really loves him. The cornerback coach, I know he loves the shit out of him. Coop and Q came in rookie year and were game changers. Either you have it or you don't. Period. I literally said, bro, both of those guys are first round picks. What are you talking about? What's the hate for Keely Ringo? Like, what's this like fucking hatred? Like, I don't get it. Like, Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are first round talents. Like, where is this coming from? What is Ringo? A third? What is he? A fifth? What is he? What is Ringo? When did he get drafted? I forgot. You can't compare Ringo to Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. I mean, come on now. What the fuck is that? Juan says, even though it was great, they get the guy they wanted for about an hour. The fact that they were willing to pay to move up 89 spots, which would have cost 2/3, isn't that concerning? Well, they never pulled the trigger on it. No, I don't think it's concerning at all. Why is that concerning? That they're being aggressive in a draft where they thought he was going to be gone and he ended up not being gone. They ended up getting their guy. That's not concerning at all. No. Why would it be? Ringo was a fourth rounder. Jason Kuso, it makes it's make or bust for Ringo now. I think this is it for Ringo. I think if he can't even win this job, then it depends who else they bring in. Like if they bring in somebody that's literally a plug-in guy at number 2, then he's definitely done. I don't know what the Eagles think of him. I think they want him to start, but do they have, Seth says we do need safety battle. You don't disagree. Are any of the guys left projected to be day one impacts? Well, I think Emin-Wari, I think he has a lot of ceiling. I think Starks was the one that had a wide floor that could start for you right now. Emin-Wari, I think, will be a project for a year, but I think as he gets more reps, he will get better. I like Andrew Makuba as well. I like him. Kevin Winston Jr. should have been a first round pick, but obviously you have the medical flags. So I'm thinking if they grab a guy that's not a day one impact at safety, they could sign Justin Simmons. You know what I mean? Shay Savers says Starks and Hamilton is a fire safety combo. Oh, it is. It is. Too bad for that offense can't do nothing in the fucking playoffs, but yeah. Ringo wearing a single digit number as a DB, he gonna go off now? Yeah, probably. So you get to sit on the roster for 4 years, adding no value because you was a fourth rounder. Brady was a sixth rounder, and Purdy was dead last. Got to show value or get out, Ringo. All right, there's weird people in here now. There's some weird people. He's comparing Keely Ringo to fucking Tom Brady. Okay, that's rich, bro. Deshae says Starks and Hamilton. KG says Watts as well, but I'd prefer Emin-Wari or Winston. Yeah, probably. I'd pick Emin-Wari or Winston over Watts. Winston over Emin-Wari, but it just comes down to the injury and how bad it is. Yeah, Ringo is a good special teamer. I always see him first one down. First one down the field all the time. Actually, we might just get Taylor at tight end and then yeah, an IOL or DL. Yeah, maybe. It comes Mason Taylor. It comes down to Mason Taylor, and that's pretty much it for me. Like, I feel like if they don't get Mason Taylor, this is their shot to get him in the second round. If they don't do it, yeah, I think it's done. Like, then I don't really know what they're gonna do. Then obviously they're gonna make a trade for a tight end or something because there's no fucking way you're going in there with Granson, Calcaterra, that other guy they got in free agency that was with the Raiders. They have nothing there. They have nothing there. Nate says, isn't Ringo supposed to compete with Adoree Jackson? Yeah, that's the plan. Everyone is saying, hey, there's more corners on the board. If they draft another corner, what would you do? What would you do? You know what I mean? So, look, you drafted a corner in the second round. If they trade up for a cornerback, then he's definitely a plug-in player at number 2, but I don't know how the Eagles see this cornerback 2 spot. Like, is this an actual competition with Ringo and Adoree Jackson, or I don't know. Let's see here. Katie says, what about Elijah Arroyo? He's good too. I've heard of his name fly around a little bit. K-Gun says, Joey, I guess this Lord Vaughn hasn't heard Brandon Graham. BG took 6-7 years to become who we know him to be. Yeah. Yep, that's true. Presidential Mike says, Watts is like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, but Watts is a lot better tackler. Yeah, but who's got better coverage, though? Tackling is great, but the issue with Chauncey is coverage. That was really the big issue. If Sanders falls to 96, would you draft him? Probably. I don't see why not. Dane says, yeah, well, I'd still like a safety. I don't like Simmons' solution. Yeah, the Simmons solution would be if they brought in a Winston Jr. and they want to pair him, if they wanted to, I think it's actually smart, to be honest with you. But Kirby Joseph just got paid from Detroit like $21 million a year, highest paid safety. Reed Blankenship's a free agent after this year. So for me, signing Simmons and signing Kevin Winston would probably not be a bad solution, because I don't know as of right now that Reed's going to come back after, now the market's now set at safety at $21 million or close to it. Dank says, again, his value has been on special teams. He says, yeah, Simmons and Winston makes sense. I just think if you're gonna bring Kevin Winston, let him go through the offseason program, see how he does health-wise. Because if you just get Kevin Winston in the building, Justin Simmons signs somewhere else, then you're kind of screwed going at, in the safety spot a little bit now. This way it gives you some leeway. Kevin Winston Jr. will get reps at safety. He'll get reps on special teams and see how his health goes. And, if they don't pay Reed Blankenship, then you could have 2 safeties. You could have, you can have Kevin Winston Jr. as your starting safety going into 26. That's only if Reed's not on the table to get like some big extension, which he's going to get paid after this year. And I honestly don't know if they are in the mix to pay that kind of money next season. Jalen Carter is really the next contract. Nakobe Dean, apparently, like Howie Roseman, there's nothing going on with Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean had an interview the other day saying he feels really good and he'll be back soon. And Howie Roseman said this pick of Jihaad Campbell had nothing to do with Nakobe Dean. So kind of weird. If you had Nakobe Dean, who knows? If you had Nakobe Dean fully healthy going to this season, who knows if they would have paid? Who knows if they even would have paid Zach Bond? You know what I mean? So Nakobe Dean, it sucks because I don't want them to give up on Nakobe Dean after this year. He's gonna miss a lot of time. Killer Ghost is how you feel about Makuba. I would draft immediately. I think Makuba would be a plug-in type guy, role player that could turn into a nice starter for us. I really do. I think Makuba would be a really underrated pick for the Eagles at safety. Well, Simmons also knows Fangio's system. What safety is better to learn from that Simmons? It'd be perfect situation for him, but only if we draft Winston. Yeah. So if they draft Winston, I think the if they draft a safety period, or if it's Winston specifically, I think Justin Simmons is an Eagle. I do. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. Thanks for showing you have no clue how football works. What is going on right now? This should be a happy day today. We have 308 people to chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream. We'll be streaming the draft for day 2 today at I think 6:30, which is 4:54 Eastern right now. Makuba is slated to go second to early third. I mean, just depends. K Gun says, Joey, I think it's actually more likely we extend Dean now that he's coming back late than he was injured because he will cost will be money. Yeah, well, no, I mean, there's no rush. I mean, there's no rush on extending the Kobe Dean. I mean, this is a contract year. He's missing a lot of time. And, like, I think the Eagles would make him happy and pay him a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy, you know? Katie says, well, Watts is a safety. You can move to nickel, can play in the box, and is a playmaker. He is a pick six waiting to happen. He is like Coop. The problem I have is this. Your second round pick should be a plug-in player right now. You know what I mean? So I would move into the second round again after our pick in the second round, whether they move up and then have to move up again. I don't know what it's going to cost, but Campbell playing in styles like Andrew Van Ginkel. Probably more than that, dude. I mean, they compared Jihaad Campbell to, I think, Edgerrin Cooper, but I think he's going to be better than him. I mean, he could do everything. Jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife type linebacker, inside, outside, edge rusher. I mean, crazy. K Gunn says, that's all I'm saying is cost-wise, they'll be much cheaper. Oh, yeah, 100%. That's the only good thing about the Nakobe Dean injury. I mean, it just sucks, dude. Like, Nakobe has been hurt pretty much every year he's been here. He's been hurt every year, bro. K Gunn says, I want Amenawari, but man, we'd have to trade up too much for him. Yeah, dude, I don't know how much of a steep trade up they're going to make from 64 up. What's going on, Bryce? Suo, what's going on? Member for 35 months. Thank you so much, man. It says, yo, great day one. Are we thinking safety today or Mason Taylor? I think we 100% trade up. Yeah, we definitely trade up. I think they're going to go after one of the glaring needs, man. Safety or tight end. If it's not Mason Taylor, then they're going safety. I mean, it's literally Mason Taylor, and then it's a drop-off. The Jets have been listed as a team that might go after him. So it's going to be interesting. Joe Rodriguez says, Joey, what round do you think the Eagles will go after safety? Probably, I'm hoping this round. I mean, unless they just say, fuck it, we're not getting a safety in the second round, and they just go out and sign Justin Simmons and make him the starter for this year. I mean, I really don't like that, to be honest. But because I don't know, man. Like, I want to have a backup plan. So if Sidney Brown's in competition, I would draft another guy because I don't know if they're going to re-sign. I don't think they're going to re-sign Reed Blankenship. I don't know. The market is like at $21 million a year now. Nate says, yeah, I mean, I hope Vic gets everything he wants. We need to rebuild this D. It doesn't need that much rebuilding. I mean, how much rebuild do you really need? It's not that much. Not that many pieces. We're talking about realistically, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson was pretty much set in stone until he got traded. You know, so I mean, I think edge rusher could be another one too. I mean, you have Ojolari's going to be a free agent after this year. Uche's going to be a free agent after this year. So you have a lot of guys that really are betting on themselves for a bigger contract next year. That's what it comes down to. K Gunn says, well, tight end isn't glaring until Goddard is gone, and I still like Calcaterra. I'd rather sign a tight end next year since we have so many picks. Yeah, I would, I mean, focus on safety and corner. Like, I would focus on safety today. Cornerback, sure. I mean, look, if they don't think Keely Ringo, they want to add more competition to that group. I mean, I don't know, but I think Goddard's gone, guys. I think he's gone, bro. He's got no guaranteed money on this contract, which makes it so much easier to trade him. I think a lot of teams have called the Eagles to trade him. I think Goddard's out the door, bro. Even if the draft is over and he wasn't traded yet, I think he's gone. I don't think he's going anywhere. Yo, we got Jacob McKay with the super chat. What's going on, man? Thank you so much. He says, "Who you wanting him to get, Joey?" Honestly, I'm not really being picky. Like this entire draft, I haven't been picky because we didn't have an early first rounder, so we weren't really pinpointing one guy. We weren't really pinpointing one dude. If it was up to me right now, I'd probably go get a safety. I'm most likely in. I'd probably go safety, to be honest with you. Internet Junkie says Campbell pressure rate last season eclipsed the likes of Abdul Carter, Mike Green, Shamar Stewart, Michael Williams, and Walker. K-God says, well, I also just don't want to give the job to Ringo in the same way I don't want to just give the job to Brown. I like the competition. Well, no, I mean, there's no competition at corner. There's competition at cornerback. They're not giving it to Ringo. Like, that's why they brought in the Dory Jackson. He's a safety valve in case Ringo doesn't get the job unless they add somebody else in this draft. Suo, what's up, Lord of Darkness? Suo says Kevin Winston Jr. would be my picks for the second round. Make it happen. Yeah. Anthony Alargan says I want Andrew Makuba from Texas Longhorns. Yeah, he's one of my favorites too. Roll Philly Dog says, Joey, who are your top 5 guys you want them to draft? Right now, I mean, if I look at the list, like who I really like, I'd say Trey. I would say if you take the injury away from Kevin Winston, I'd probably say Trey Amos, Kevin Winston Jr., Nick Amenwari, Donovan Izaraku, probably Nick Scorton. I mean, it comes down to just a few. I mean, it comes down to a few guys. No, Winston didn't get drafted. Are we just talking? I mean, with Kevin Winston Jr., are we just talk? So we're talking about a guy that only played 3 games last year, and it was an ACL, and that's it. Like, there's no other injuries beside that ACL. So I just don't want to take a 5'11", 185 safety. Not sold on Makuba. Yeah, I get it. I mean, realistically, like it's like from the safeties, I like him. I like Amenwari. If Xavier Watts moves down into the 3rd round, I would get him just because he could play multiple. He could play inside. Kevin Winston Jr. is great. Makuba probably be a later pick, but I like him. Jalen Reed for Penn State will probably be a 4th, 5th rounder if they want to get a safety later on. The other safety from Penn State. Dominique Zaraku's great. Mike Green, most likely not. That Oluwafemi Oladejo from UCLA, the Eagles really like him. Nick Scorton, they brought him in twice. Trey Amos, I like. Will Johnson, I like. I mean, there's a lot of guys I like. Malachi Moore would be good. Yeah, Aaron Judge said, yeah, Malachi Moore would be good. Play multiple positions, versatility. He's got Malachi Moore's a guy that's got versatility. So I mean, I think there's a lot of value here. K Gun says, I just don't see us taking Scorton or Azaraku. Howie himself even mentioned Campbell not just being a linebacker. Yeah, I mean, you could probably say that, sure, you could probably take Azaraku and Scorton off the board now. I don't think they're going to make him a full-time edge rusher because I think Uche is going to have a good year. And I think Azeez Ojulari, if he could stay healthy, man, he might have a big year. He might have a really big season. Jalix Hunt is coming into his own. Nolan Smith is coming into his own now. So I think edge looks really good. And obviously adding Campbell to that edge is just giving, I think what the Eagles are lacking on the edge is just a little bit of size. That's all. Like a little bit more size. And Campbell is just going to get, he's going to get up and wait, down the line. Roll Philly Dog says, Azeez Ojulari is my biggest sleeper of the year. I think he's double-digit sack guy. Yeah, he could be. And Uche, don't count out Uche. Like back in what was it, 22? He had like 11 and a half sacks. I forgot what he had. He got traded last year to KC. And Spags already talked, the defensive coordinator for KC already talked about Uche coming to KC, and pretty much it just took him a long time to figure out the defense. You get traded during the year, man, to a totally different scheme. Guys just don't hook onto it quick. So Uche, man, that guy is a good edge rusher, man. You got a lot of bodies at that position. So now adding Campbell to the mix, and the Eagles see him as an edge guy as well. It could take them off the table with getting an it could take them off the table getting an Azaraku or an Olafemi Odejeo or whoever. So we'll see though. I don't know. Seth says, I think we get Sanders or Lott. We can have Jalen Carter play edge spot on certain situations where we want bigger edge. Nate says, is that the guy from Bowling Green 17? Yeah. What's going on, Prince? Says, hey, Joey Shakes the chat. What's good? So excited to see Campbell and what we do today. Yeah, it's going to be a fun day today. It's going to be a good day today. I'm pretty excited. A lot of value. It's just the Eagles pick. The Eagles pick in the second round just sucks right now. It's not a great 64 is not great to start out. If they were in the low 50s, it would be a little bit better, but every linebacker we can can cover. That shit is going to be scary. It really is, dude. It really is. Now Vic is starting to get his own guys. Vic is really starting. Zach Bond, he sought out. Now that he's starting to get I'm wondering, is there a safety out there? Chauncey Gardner-Johnson wasn't part of Vic Fangio. This was a guy that we've had the last few years. You know what I mean? Now Vic Fangio is really starting to get his own kind of versatile players that he really likes, into this scheme. K-Gun says, don't get me wrong. I would love Azaraku because of a fan. That dude is a monster, but I just don't see an edge pick in the second. There might not be. Because the Campbell pick, Howie had a lot to say about it yesterday, and using him, the versatility that he has and using him on the edge. Because let me tell you, man, that guy has a really good bend. He's got power. The way he tracks down guys in the backfield, he doesn't overstep his boundary. When it comes to tackling somebody, he's patient at times, sideline to sideline, doesn't give up on plays. He's not lazy. He's a fucking force to be reckoned with, dude. He is. Nate says, I'm sure Howie was a little hangtail after the whole Huff pick. He probably was like, sorry, Vic, who do you like? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I think he's more likely to get moved post-June, and I hope they could try to get something done. Lord Darda says, you've seen Campbell is so excited to be an Eagle, and he's a big fan of Brian Dawkins. That's great, man. That's great. And he's been an Eagle fan, you know what I mean? It's great to get a guy like that. Knows the city. Desmond Watson, nose tackle from Florida, who is 6'6", 464, as Jordan Davis backup, potential day 3. Is that the guy? That's the only guy that's like 464, that big dude? Yo cried about wanting edge rushers all last year, and we didn't even need them. Oh, no, we like defensive line, bro. Well, we cried about edge rushers because we didn't know what was going to happen with Nolan Smith. So, you know what I mean? Nolan Smith, we didn't think what was going to happen was going to happen. So, I mean, if that was supposed to be like a burn or something, it didn't work, bro, because there was plenty of reason why we wanted an edge rusher. So, that's how it went. You know, I'm glad that Nolan Smith ended up having some good coaching behind him and it actually worked out. So, it's good. Go after yourself. What's going on, man? Appreciate the super chat. He says, Arante Ursary, offensive tackle Min locked up Abdul Carter. I've never heard of that guy. I honestly haven't looked at the only offensive lineman I looked at was the one they brought in for a pre-draft. One of them, I think Anthony Belton, was the only guy that could play guard and tackle. Other than that, yeah, I haven't looked at anybody else. A lot of guys. Offensive line, I really wasn't looking at a lot of guys because I didn't think they were going to go offensive line first, second round. I think mid-round, you know, there's going to be a big competition at right guard. I think we all know that. You know what I mean? Between Keegan, Tyler Steen, Kenyon Green from the Chauncey trade, you know. Styles, I really love the energy that appreciate the super chat, by the way, man. Styles, I really love the energy that Campbell brought to the draft. He was made for Philly. Yeah, he was so excited. The way he was running through the little tunnel, and like you had all the teams, you had all like the conference, you had the conferences, you had all the divisional teams on the wall, and he like slapped the Eagles logo, and he was hyped, man. Nigos Devonshire, what's going on? It's afternoon. Joey Mouse and I just got in from cutting work short on the ranch, ready to go with you. Fly. Hey, I hope you had a good work day today. Hope you had a good. I've always wanted to go to a fucking ranch. I've always wanted to go to a ranch and see like the ranch life, and you know, I've always wanted to do that. That's just me. I've always wanted to do that though. But yeah, it's gonna be an exciting day. It's gonna be nice. It's 5:10 p.m. Eastern right now. We have at least an hour and a half until me and Philly go live for day 2 of the draft. Nate says, living in Columbus, everybody excited that 4 OSU guys went on the first day. I was shocked on how many offensive linemen went the first round. Like, what, 5, 6 offensive linemen off the board? I mean, it's fucking nuts, dude. K-Gun says, crazy how Campbell is the only 21. He has so much potential and has raw score was massive. Yeah, the raw score is crazy. The raw score is crazy. I'm trying to I have it in my file here. Let me bring it up if I can. Rocky with the super chat. Thank you so much. I see Howie trading up at some point. He better. So this is the raw score for Jihaad Campbell. Okay. 9.88. Obviously, if you're at 8 points or more, it's pretty good. Okay. From his athletic ability, they obviously think he should be a little bit higher in weight than 235, but he'll probably gain another 5 pounds, 5 to 10 pounds. It wouldn't shock me the next few years. Broad jump was great. Height's great. 40-yard, 4.5, 220-yard split, 2.66, 10-yard split, 1.58. I mean, it's just off the board athleticism. 9.88 out of 10 points, which is insane. That's insane. He's ranked, and I said earlier, dude, they ranked him athletic ability from 1984. What was it? It was the 80s. It was like 1980, 86, 1987 to 2025. He's the 41st ranked linebacker out of over 3,200 linebackers. I mean, that's just insane. That's insane, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, raw score they used for the combine. They used for the combine, and pretty much they put them on a. This is what the Eagles probably look at, because a lot of people, even with Malachi Starks, like his raw score wasn't great, so they take a lot. This is analytical stuff. This is where the Eagles, in a lot of years, they took a lot of analytical guys and looked at the raw score, even though if they didn't play or didn't reach a certain potential in college, that they had a high ceiling, would look at the score of a raw score and be like, okay, well, this is a guy that we could develop. Um, you know, so it checks out pretty good. But it's nice. It's nice to see, just this just adds more flavor to the pick. It just adds more flavor. So it's not horrible. Matt says ATL reach too, but no shock. Yeah. I mean, if the Eagles trade up, and if the Eagles like did a massive trade up for like, not like Abdul Carter, but if they were Atlanta and they did that shit and they moved up to the first round again and they end up getting James Pierce Jr. and they give up a future first rounder, that wouldn't have sat well with me, bro. Like James Pierce Jr. and some of these other guys, like, unless it's Abdul Carter, like that, to give up that much draft capital, they would have gave up obviously a lot more for Abdul if it was a lot earlier. But give up a future first for just a ceiling player? No, bro. You don't do that. You know? Hector says, Joe, your energy seemed off all night yesterday. No, I was fine, dude. I was fine. I was tired, man. I'm tired, man. I got tired. I go to bed at like 10:30 at night. Like I go to bed early. So staying up till midnight, I was tired, man. By the time we hit like almost to our pick, I was starting to feel it. So just tired, Then I had to make a video last night, so I was up till about 1, 2 in the morning, and then I just went to bed and woke up, and here we are. Dumb move by Atlanta, I agree. KG says Pierce isn't worth a first and a second. No. Oh yeah, they gave up a second round pick too, bro. Yeah, it's crazy. Not for him, dude. You're giving up draft capital like that. You're giving up draft capital like that literally between like picks 1 to fucking 10. At least. Top 15 maybe you're giving up draft capital like that. 10 p.m. is early. For me, it is. Yeah. Starks, but his Ross. Yeah, I heard Starks' RAS was not good. I heard it wasn't good. Chris, what's going on, man? So Shakes, you're the best, bro. Appreciate it, man. Matt says, also tomorrow I will officially be 30. Oh, shit. I was depressed on that day. When I turned 30, I was really depressed. I'm 34? No. Yeah? Bro, am I 34? I am 34. Right. Yes. Okay. Scared me for a moment. Kay says, because remember they swapped their seconds for first and gave up a first to 26. That is wild. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. KGK says, Emin Warrior got a perfect RAS. Oh, no, I know his is good. That's why the ceiling is very high for Emin Warrior. But happy birthday, Matt. Sue says, happy birthday, Matt. All downhill from 30. Enjoy your remaining 20s. Yep. Getting old sucks. Getting old sucks, bro. So I think we're going to end it here. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go recharge the batteries, get ready for day 2. I'm going to actually turn the draft on and just see what's going on. If there's any rumors. I don't even know if there was rumors about Ramsey yesterday. I don't know what the fuck those rumors were. Do you know what I mean? There was rumors about Ramsey the other day, but thank God. Thank God right here. Gotta give it a kiss. Good luck kiss, Gotta smooch it once. Because it's done a pretty good job. It's done a pretty good job so far. Matt Corral has given us the luck once again. Once again. Okay, Gun said, my mom is happy, though. She got an extra first with the Rams, thanks to the Falcons being greedy. Joey, at 34, you're still a baby. Got 2 kids older than you. We'll be 60 in May. Whoa, damn. And they're working on a ranch, and they're doing all the they're doing a bunch of stuff. Hear that? They've been doing that for like the last 3 days. I don't know if they're building a fucking nuke or I don't know what they're doing up there. But yeah, Matt, no problem, dude. Nathan says fluff the Matt Corrals. That jersey is so big. It's like this jersey is like I don't know what the size 4XL. 4XL, bro. It does not fit. It fits, but it's a bed sheet on me. Yeah, they're I don't know what they're working on up there. I feel like it's the episode of The Last of Us when fucking the broccoli people are trying to get into the basement. I don't know. By the way, I was so upset over that fucking episode. I mean, I knew it was going to happen. Obviously, I played the game, but The Last of Us episode 2 is just heartbreaking. I was so mad, knowing it was going to happen. I even seeing it live action. I was really fucking mad. I was just really upset over that episode, like upset. Carlos Rosado, what's going on, man? Appreciate the super. Says Shakes. Will tell Howie to get my boy from South Carolina safety. Yeah, they might, dude. They might. Look, I think safety is. I'd go safety in the second round. That's where I'm at. If it's not Mason Taylor, then at tight end, then I think there's a big drop off, and I think there's going to be something else in the works when it comes to a tight end trade or something. There's got to be something in the works. Unless Goddard is re-signing, which I highly doubt. I hope I'm wrong. Matt said, I knew that was coming once I saw Joel on the horse and helping Abby escape from zombies. Yeah. That shit sucked, dude. K Gun says, a man warrior is going to be hard to get unless he continues to fall. We will see. That's why we're streaming. That's why we're going to go through this shit together today. I'm very excited. Rocky says, I'm going for safety or tight end. That would make sense. Carlos says, yeah, if not tight end, go get the kid from South Carolina or Notre Dame safety as well. Look, get anybody. Get Kevin Winston Jr., bro. I don't know. Like, I would really like, if they really, I'd feel more comfortable if they see the ceiling of Kevin Winston Jr. to see what he's going to look like coming off this injury. His pro day was actually really good. I think it'd be a good idea to sign Justin Simmons if that's the case. I think you should sign 2 guys. I do. You know, if they say, "Hey, Kevin Winston Jr. is ready to go and he can play," shit, go do it. You know. But yeah, that's gonna be it, man. It's gonna be it. Sue, I'll see you later, man. Everybody else in the chat, 270 in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the stream. Appreciate it so much. Rocky with the super chat says, "Hey, Trey Amos is a big." Yeah, and I think Trey Amos will be high on their draft board as well, man. I think they'll be high on the draft board. I just don't know what this cornerback situation. If they draft a corner here, depending on who it is, Trey Amos, he's a number 2 he's a starting number 2 guy. That's what's going to worry me a little bit because I really want Keely Ringo to like compete for this job, and but we'll see. We'll be doing our thing. So we'll be streaming at 6:30. I think 6:30. We're not going to stream an hour before, but about 6:30ish we'll be streaming, ready to go, and we're excited. So we'll obviously have the stream today. We'll have videos late night tonight. And if you haven't checked out my video on Jihaad Campbell, definitely check that video out because we go through a lot of stuff. So yeah, it's 5:22 p.m. Eastern right now. So about another hour, an hour and like 6 minutes, we'll be streaming. So we'll be ready to go. All right, you guys enjoy. Appreciate everybody. We'll probably do another stream tomorrow to go over the picks and stuff like that. So you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes, what up? Follow slide. Peace out, guys. Peace out. Peace.